All right, cool. Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining the May 13th Flatcar office hours. Before we begin, I just want to remind everyone that Flatcar is a CNCF incubating project, so we adhere to the CNCF Code of Conduct. In these meetings, we discuss news, happenings in and around Flatcar. We provide a space for our user community to discuss anything with the maintainers. We sometimes show demos and do our release planning. So as usual, we'll do a little round of introductions. I will kick things off. I'm Lexi. I work for Microsoft, and I'm also a new Flatcar maintainer. Exciting stuff. And I've been involved with the project since the very beginning, and now I've been focusing on our overall, thank you, overall project growth and health. So yeah, let's just kind of go around. Maybe Logan, you want to go next?
Yeah, hi, Logan Blythe. My company uses Flatcar as part of their base OS for our product, as well as I fiddle around with it on my personal time. So I was joining because I posted a message to the chat room. I was going to quickly try to clear any of that up. And then, yeah, so I've been here. This will be my second month. I'm trying to regularly attend. So this will be my second month of regular attendance.
Very cool. Happy to have you. Jan, you want to go next?
Sure. My name is Jan. I am also an employee of Microsoft. I am a software engineer and a Flatcar maintainer. Chewy, want to go next?
Hi, yeah, James, better known as Chewy. I'm up here in Edinburgh, in Scotland. Also work for Microsoft, and yeah, Flatcar maintainer and Gentoo maintainer. Adrian.
Hello, I'm Adrian. I work for cloud-based solutions. I'm also a Flatcar maintainer. Yeah, happy to be here. Thank you. Tilo, I think.
Hi, I'm Tilo. I manage a team at Microsoft that mostly gravitates around Flatcar, and I'm a Flatcar maintainer long-term, and also happy to be here. And congratulations again, Lexi, well deserved.
Oh, thank you. Cool. So let me just share the agenda. Just give me one moment, and then we'll dive right in. Let's just make sure that I have the right. Yeah, thanks. Okay. Does everybody see the correct?
Yeah, the agenda for 2:30.
Fantastic, thank you. Okay, so the first order of business, I think Tilo, maybe you want to talk about or the new release.
Yeah, I'm seconding for Cyan here, who did most of the work. So actually, Cyan would earn all the credits. So we pumped out a patch level release, so most channels get only patch level upgrades, except Alpha. Alpha almost always gets a major release version because you want to stay close on main. But Beta, Stable, and LTS got a patch level release. Correction, LTS is still work in progress. We have some problems with the patch level update of the kernel, which we need to iterate on, but that's coming as well. But yeah, Stable and Beta are out, and we're fixing the two highly visible kernel local privilege escalation CVEs that came out, one of which copy failed. We were not affected, but you know those nasty security scanners, they just care about the kernel version and not about the distro, so we're gonna calm them down with that. That's fine. The second CVE, Dirty Frag, we actually verified, and there is Cyan, amazing. Dirty Frag, we actually were affected, and so that update ships a kernel patch level upgrade that fixes that. There's another local privileged escalation CVE that came out after we started issuing the releases, which is obviously not fixed by this release, but we're not affected by that either, so you're still safe with Flatcar, even though your security scanner may claim otherwise. Cyan, is there anything else we want to mention for the releases? Did I forget anything?
nothing else. I think you covered it.
Thank you.
Sorry if this was mentioned already or not. I think there was a question in the help channel about the Azure images being published.
There's so we started the publishing. There's kind of limited control that we have over what happens after that, because the as sad as this sounds, since we're working for Microsoft, but it is what it is. So if you publish as a third party, you go through as a publisher, any party, you go through a testing process that is Microsoft internal, and whatever you publish needs to pass these. This process can take as little as a few hours or as much as multiple days. And so we have limited control over that. We just publish the images into the process as soon as we can, and that's the current state.
Okay, so we're just waiting for Azure to essentially let it through.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Thank you for that. I think we could move to the tech docs. Jan, should I share the Flatcar analysis document?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Give me 1 second, and then you could kind of go through. Right. I don't know which sheet you want me to be on, whether you want me to be on the detailed, probably the summary, right? Oh, I can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
I just muted myself. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
No.
So we've had a lot of help from a group from CNCF called the Expert Support. These folks are a bunch of very, very experienced technical writers. And for the past, I think it's going to be like 2 months, maybe 3 even, they've been essentially going through all of our documentation on the Flatcar website and some of the documentation in the READMEs of various repos. Essentially, the product of their analysis is this proposed restructuring. This has been shared previously internally with all of the maintainers, and I think we kind of unanimously say that this is very much something we would like to do. There's a few things that will be written additionally to what we have. However, this is mostly basically a reshuffling of what we already have, and basically structuring it from kind of the top level of what can a person that is just now coming into the project learn and what would they like to learn, to basically going lower and lower to what is like the very detailed and kind of you really need to know what you're looking for, things that someone might want to look at. And also we do have essentially 2 personas that we're going to be treating as our audience, which is the first one being the self-hosting type person that is basically just playing with the OS, or maybe self-hosting it for themselves, or maybe some kind of a small environment. And the second one being a more of a professional production environment for someone who might be administering a fleet of thousands of nodes, and they do essentially need very deep control over the whole system. So yeah, this is the proposed structure. If there's anything you guys want to mention about it, we're also going to be getting a person to essentially help us do it, like the actual transition of oh yeah, go ahead.
Is there I guess I didn't see a section for like developer. If you scroll down, is that down there?
Should be there, I think.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
I've used it a few times and I find it helpful, so I want to make sure it's still there.
That's very good feedback, actually.
Thank you.
What did you use there, if you don't mind me asking?
I've used the build a kernel module section a few times, most recently incorrectly. So
okay, but that's actually very good to know that this is being used by not only developers, like from our side, right, maintainers. Okay, so yeah, if you guys have any thing to add, we're gonna be basically having someone help us do it and go through it. So if I think that person's name is Seth, So if you're, if you see them approach you on Discord or whatever, just like, please, interact with them. Yeah. And I think that's kind of it for this section. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. So the next thing I have to reshare because I will be showing the metrics that I've been working on for a few months. Right. And there's a lot of findings and a lot more work to do, actually, I've discovered. So this is kind of, it still feels quite incomplete. So, but I'll show you at least where I've gotten to. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So one of the big kind of things that kind of happened in the last month, at least, which has skewed some of our findings, is a lot of Jan's work, which caused a 219 new PRs opened last month. But the nice thing is that a lot of them were closed, so no stress, but it definitely skewed a lot of the things. Yeah, or mostly, yes. So mostly they have been at least closed, but it was really tied to the graduation work. The CNCF requires branch protection rules and I think code owner standardization across all repos. So Jan kind of just rolled all those changes into all 14 repos all at once, which was great job, great work. And yeah, so the PR volume should kind of normalize next month. Other things that we have is obviously because of the CVE issues, we had a big jump in the advisories, and we have a few that are still, and of course, Thilo already went over this, but yeah, that's just flagging that there's still 35 open advisories. And other trends. So we have the new contributor rate is always kind of around 20%, which is great. We had 3 new contributors, which is pretty good. So this is all pretty much on par. The PR merge rate is at an all-time high. Thanks, Jan, for 90%. And yeah, there's also a trend with contributions per contributor, which that is actually trending up over the last year and a half, which just kind of reflects a lot of growth in the project and just, yeah, same people returning, but also working a lot. And there is another trend that I noticed, which is just the open issues that remain. And that's been kind of trending up over the last year and a half, I guess. It's very slow, but nothing to be concerned about, but maybe, yeah, keep an eye on. But there was one anomaly, which I don't know. I guess I figured we could at least, maybe it was a reporting issue when I was exporting things, or when the metrics are gathered, because there was a month in May last year, May, June, but I'm thinking maybe it was holiday where we had like only like 3,000 contributions, where we usually have a lot more than that, like 3-4 times more, or 3 times more than that. So anyway, I don't know if that's just a wrong. It seems weird. Anyway, so that's yeah, everything's kind of updated. I'll keep updating these things every month and reporting on them. I also had a nice LLM pick apart all the data and give us some other trends. There's a lot here, so there is a link on the agenda. So if anybody wants to kind of dive in and look at other things that yeah, they might be interested in, please check out the document. Aside from this, so I'll be also looking at retention from these new contributors. I think this might be more of a manual process, so I'm still trying to figure out how to go about this, but hopefully by next month we'll have a little bit more to report, because yeah, I haven't gotten too far there, but we will be trying to gather those metrics. And I also do have another proposal for non-code participation, which is something that we're trying to capture. And that's just participation across all of our channels, which is GitHub, Discord, Mastodon, Slack, Matrix. I think that's it. Yeah, I think I'm missing one, but I forget which one. But actually, hold on, didn't I? Blue Sky. Yeah, so I kind of started to look at what the possibilities are of what we can actually gather. So for GitHub discussions, we already have those metrics, so I just have to add those to the table. But the simple idea is basically to have 2 solid numbers that we could track per channel per month. So for now, yeah, GitHub discussions, we have those. The meeting attendance, that'll be manual. It'll just be, seeing how many people join each meeting. And maybe even track maintainers versus non-maintainers. That'll be good. Discord, we do have, we could track how many people are joining, when, but I think the numbers are not really available to us until 500. Oh, okay. Let me edit that. I think when we talked earlier today, I was like, 100 seems low. Okay, well, then I think what we can track is just number of yeah, I think this one's going to be harder because we have so many channels and a lot of participation. So doing things manually there might be difficult. I know we could track the users and participants. I'm not really sure. I think that one might be a little bit harder because it is really active, right? Jan, please help.
So I think the number of members is a solid first number to track. With the second one, I think what we could do is essentially aggregate all of the messages per month in our general text channels. There is no a way to do it in Discord. However, Discord has a very, very extensive API which can be used. So I can basically look into how could I do it with a simple script, for example, or a job maybe on GitHub or whatever that runs from time to time and gathers that statistic.
Okay, and would it? Could we capture those numbers from the inception of the channel? Like, can we?
I don't know exactly, to be honest, because we'd have to look at the Discord's API and what it can do. But yeah, I'm gonna have a look and basically see what we can get out of it.
Okay, yeah, because that one I think is the one that I was most troubled by now, especially since we have to have 500 users in order to even get their metrics. But if you could help me out with that, that would be really great. Because the other ones, like Mastodon, Blue Sky, and Slack, they're not used as much, so it'll be easier to capture those metrics. And on the Matrix channel, I think again we could do users and active participants and maybe how many messages, because that one is a little bit more concise. So it's easier to kind of do that manually. So Jan, me and you can actually work on that together for Discord. But yeah, that's it for me. I think we have one more agenda item. Give me 1 second. Sorry, somebody messaged. Oh, okay, cool. Does anybody have any questions, actually? Sorry.
Can I just say that this is really impressive? Having worked with community statistics in the past myself, I did the automation that files the community stats issue every month. This is great stuff. This is very, very deep, and I find this insanely informative and valuable. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm really happy to help. And yeah, do check out the trends. I wonder how the AI did and if it actually captured the correct things. I mean, after I reviewed it, it looked really good. but yeah, if anybody wants to go a little deeper, please do. Okay, I think we have one more agenda item. Let me go back. Yes, it's, oh, hold on. I keep forgetting to share. There we go. So yeah, I think me and Jan can do a little update on the graduation. Jan, do you want to maybe kick off and then I'll supplement?
Sure. So we had a meeting with Dylan from CNCF, who not only is one of the people on the TOC committee, but also once was a person trying to graduate a project in CNCF. So his feedback was very, very valuable because not only is he there, but like he also knows our point of view, essentially. So there's a few good news in all honesty, because like basically it turns out we just have to do a little bit less work than we thought we have to. For example, they did get away with they basically just like merged the due diligence document into one with the graduation application itself. So essentially, we do not need like two separate documents that kind of talk about similar things. We just need to merge one to the other, and it makes the like total one actually even shorter than the individual ones. Also, we know that we are very good like when it comes to the amount of work and documentation of that work. We've been very we've been basically documenting all of our work very, very carefully throughout all of this time, be it in issues or documents on or the projects and all that stuff. And from what we know, this is like very much like what we have done so far is like top tier and their understanding. So this is also great. There are a few things that will need to happen, and we do not really have a lot of control over. Like that is mostly the adapters interview questions, because that these are being done by CNCF, and we just have no idea how long that takes. However, I think we're pretty confidently, like we can say that the application for graduation can be done more or less by the end of June, I would say. Lex, do you have something you would like to add?
Yeah, so yes, all of that. We also, for the security self-assessment, he did let us know that we could build upon the one from the incubation. So they want it to be kind of, yeah, so we don't have to start from scratch. So that was another thing. And we've been making some progress on the general technical review. We're almost done with day 0, which was the biggest, or it seemed like the biggest one. And yeah, we're just engaging with adopters now, as Jan mentioned, and we're going to be also engaging with some of the people at the CNCF ahead of this, ahead of us filing the application, just to make sure that we have everything done correctly. But yeah, I think that is it. And yeah, and if anybody's interested in getting involved, we have our call on Fridays at 1 UTC, 1 p.m. UTC.
I think it's 2:30 now or 2. Well, I guess
it'll be on Discord and the channels on Matrix. Probably should have had that information.
It's
Sorry.
3 p.m. CET time.
Okay. So that's 2 p.m. UTC.
Yes,
I believe. Yeah. Cool. Great. So I think that's it for our agenda items. Does anybody have anything for the open mic? Any issues? Any concerns? Please, Logan.
Hi. So if you guys need adopters, does the CNCF talk to adopters? Because I guess I would technically qualify us as an adopter. We like what you guys do, and we continue to use it, so it feels like we've adopted it. So I don't know. Do they ask you for people to fill out this? Oh, they do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I suppose that makes sense.
And you wouldn't believe how hard it is, like find someone, because like if you are a distribution that does not spy on people, you kind of do not know who uses you essentially, which is a problem that we have.
and people forget about us. Which is a good thing because it just works. But
Yeah.
they're just,
You don't want to be a popular infrastructure project.
no,
you know?
no, no. It's a little bit more difficult to get people to just say, "Oh, okay." Because a lot of people, well, so far the feedback was, "Well, we use it and it's great, but we have nothing to say or feedback." So, Tilo.
Thank you. So Logan, if you just want to add your usage and your company to our adopters file, that would be amazing. We have quite a few folks in there, and every time I hear people adopting Flatcar, I just point them out to this file. Problem is, I meet most adopters at conferences, and they don't really have a computer nearby to file a PR, so they forget about it. That issue is solved right now, right here. And so if you want to file a PR to that repo, just adding like a small, like 3-liner in who you are and how you're using Flatcar, that will be amazing and super helpful.
Yes. Do you guys actually, I guess you don't track specific uses. We like the air gap aspect as well. So I know that that is a hurdle probably to maintain an air gap style, but that is useful. Sorry, I'll add that to my, I'm going to run that by my boss or the powers that be and see what they say, but I don't anticipate any problems.
What is the company? I'm sorry, I missed that. Oh, okay, that sounded like
That's Jitsi noises, so you're good.
I love sound effects now. So we are an AI networking company, in a way. So much like everybody else. No. So we offer kind of a turnkey solution for customers that have specifically kind of data centers or neoclouds who are starting up an AI cluster, and they want to have a they don't want to have a bunch of networking people on their staff or their payroll. They can use us. We present a Kubernetes style API towards, I guess, any existing infrastructure. So people could use Argo CD and things like that to manage their GPU cluster, or really manage the networking inside their GPU cluster, specifically multi-tenancy. So you can use the same, you have VPCs in AWS or GCP or Azure. So that would let you, we create the network policies that allow you to have VPCs inside of your data center. So kind of the multi-tenancy. We've seen people in, I guess, kind of split up their neoclouds for various projects that are out there. So there's hosted AI and RunPod and a couple other software stacks. So a neocloud would buy our software, or at least buy our support, and then make a deal with RunPod or Hosted AI or one of those other companies that then kind of bring demand. So if you're a neocloud, you have the GPUs, you need somebody to bring your demand and somebody to manage your network. So we provide the network management part of that. And so we run the K3S distribution to kind of present our Kubernetes API towards customers. And we also have a lot of CRDs to help you manage, I guess, kind of like a VPC is represented as a CRD inside of our product. So, but that's why I came to Flatcar in the first place. And then I decided that I wanted an operating system to run containers on my various home computers. And so I started using it on one of my small ones, and it's an AMD-based system. And last month, I found out that the alpha had been released with AMD GPU enabled, which is really exciting. And then I found out that the dev KFD, which is, I guess, basically the GPU file handle that lets you do GPU and not just video related work, was not enabled. So I set about trying to do some Flatcar Flatcar kernel manipulation and building, and was able to build the AMD GPU driver with the HSA options enabled. However, I could not load my AMD GPU module, as you saw in the chat, in the matrix chat. And I'm most likely assuming that it's because I built something wrong. So I have not. I flirted with Gen 2 very early on in my time with Linux, but we never really committed. And so I'm assuming that I did something wrong. But I did realize in the Flatcar docs, there is a very helpful like TLDR at the top of the guide to building custom Flatcar images from source. And then there is like a long form instructional guide. And so there is a difference in where those two, the TLDR and the long form, direct you to pull the kernel config from. The TLDR has you pull the kernel config from the CoreOS modules, and the long form has you pull that from the CoreOS kernel.
I think they're actually both right, so they should be the same anyway.
Oh, good. Well, then I have a different problem, but I won't take y'all's time to solve that.
There are some pitfalls here, like making sure that you built the modules and the kernel so that you end up signing the modules with the same key and stuff like that. I don't think that's what's happened here, but it's hard to say. Again, it could just be a mismatch. I know the BTF stuff is kind of sensitive, so if your kernel doesn't match your modules, then maybe something like that.
Yeah, I would definitely err on the side of this being a Logan typed it in wrong as opposed to a problem in the documentation. But I did notice that difference, and I was kind of curious about it. So
if in doubt, build both, and yeah.
Yeah. And then once upon a time, I remember I never thought this would be a great use of CI, but you could just do a PR with the kernel module options turned on, and then CI would, in theory, build and test the module for itself. But would that actually result in an image that I could download on my system and try?
So if a regular QEMU image works for your system or can easily be made work for your system, then yes. But the CI only builds for the QEMU target because that's the only target it tests.
Okay. All right. So I would want to, I mean, obviously I would want to test with, well, I presume actually, I guess the AMD GPU insmod would cause this problem as well.
Yeah, so there is no problem with the QEMU image, it's just the format. It doesn't have anything other than the thing that you want to run your bare metal. So it should work. So it doesn't have less modules, for example. It's the same kernel.
And you could go from a QEMU image to a VM?
RAW. Yeah,
to a RAW?
To RAW or VM or whatever. Because, I mean, from the kernel perspective, you have the same modules. Flatcar doesn't have a, less or more for QEMU, for example.
Okay. And then I guess the other quick question to make my life a little bit easier, when I do like a developer build, will that generate an upgrade image that I can use, or is there just no chance? Okay. Because I usually get upgrade failed when I try to use my developer build on the...
That might be because it's not signed with the right key, but you can override that.
I use the, I use the force option. Is that specific? Is there another override option?
Pass, I can't remember. I don't do that very often.
Yeah, I used that a long time ago, and there has to be a way to specify the key or to basically override the behavior to check the signature.
Do you update via update engine or via the Flatcar update script?
I was updating by the Flatcar update script.
Okay, so the public key, as far as I remember, is embedded in the Flatcar update script. All you need to do is edit that script and replace the public key base 64 thingy part with the public key that with the public key part of the key that you've used for signing. That key is auto-generated by the SDK container at the point in time where you build.
Wait, no, no. Are you mixing up kernel module keys with the developer key that we use to sign the whole thing?
Right. Okay, I thought I think we're talking about the update failing.
Yeah, that
we are talking
I don't
about
think that key's generated. I could I could be wrong. I'm not sure.
So I mean that key is either ephemeral and generated, or it's even baked into the repository. In either way, you should be able to find it and then just put the public part in the Flatcar update script.
We should document this. it's not documented. The last time regarding the update package, it is not documented as far as I know on how to use your own update package. So that would be a nice documentation addition.
It's also interesting for offline use, right? Because it puts you into a position where you could build your own images and build your own updates and basically use your own update keys, which is definitely possible technically at this point. It's just not written down anywhere.
Okay. Yeah, I would not want to submit a PR for the kernel module changes without having actually booted successfully booted and insmotted on the AMD GPU system. So, yeah, that would be my standard before I bother you guys more.
I've got an AMD-based laptop right here, so I could always try it. It's a bit more fiddly. I've got AMD and NVIDIA in this one laptop, which is really handy, but the AMD is the main one, so I can't use that in a VM without running the whole thing headless. But yeah, but no, I could still boot it from something else.
One thing that usually happens when I forget how to rebuild the kernel is that you need to follow the steps to rebuild the source, rebuild modules, and so on. So if you just to make sure build packages is not sufficient, and I sometimes forget and I end up with the old kernel and I don't have a module. So. But I think this is documented.
Okay.
I just checked Flatcar update. It does have specific options for this: force dev key, force Flatcar key. So force dev key is, I think, the one you want.
Okay. Yeah, because otherwise I have to jump over to get a live CD, copy all the stuff, reboot or write the images, reboot, etc., etc. I thought about setting up a Pixie server, and I was like, no, there's a better way. I just don't know it yet. All right, thank you.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Hi, Danielle.
Hello.
Hello. So I think we are, unfortunately, we are wrapping things up, though, unless you have anything that you want to say, Danielle, or anybody else before we leave. No?
Don't forget about the release planning.
I'm sorry?
Don't forget about
sorry. Yes, release planning. Yes, Cyan, I think that's all you. Let me just go into the link. Cyan?
Yeah, can you open the release tracker?
Yep. Do you not see it? I think I opened it.
This next view.
One tab to the right.
Oh, there.
And now you need to collapse all of the releases, unfortunately. You only need to do it the first time you open that, but you need to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can probably just...
Is that good?
Yes. If you can open the release 26.5, the one below, yes. Yes, so just to update, we have been working on the releases. It's done. We have posted out, as Thilo mentioned, it fixes one of the CVs, and it's a maintenance release for beta and stable, and a major for alpha, but it includes fixes for dirty frag, and we were not affected by copy fail, and the release is done. We are still working on for the LTS one. It has some issues, but we are cherry picking um, the patch into it. So and the next release currently, if you can scroll down, yeah. So the next release is scheduled for next month, and that is on 5th of June. And currently we are looking into the Docker issue, which is there has been a Docker failure primarily around the systemd update, so that is being looked into. So yeah, that's mostly it at of now.
Great. Thank you so much.
I have a quick question. Just because we've bubbled up the idea a number of times of going bi-weekly, Cyan, how do you feel about putting in a release on, when would it start? It would start on Friday the 22nd, so Friday next week. Would that be feasible? Would that be something that we would strive for, or is that too much?
I think we can do that because I think this time it was a much smoother release, and I think we can definitely iterate once more and see how things goes.
Awesome. That's great.
We've had a lot of pain this last period with releases. Do you think we're ready for that? Because I would have said yes, definitely before, but I'm not so sure now. But if Cyan's happy,
Yeah, so the last release went off actually pretty well, other than the Jenkins shutdown, which, but it also did not hamper much. Other than, I mean, we did not see much. Uh, I would say we did not see any hiccups due to the Jenkins shutting down. Other than that, everything went fine. Even the marketplace updates has been going on well. So, yeah.
Cool. I'll create the new release 0522 and then make sure that it pops up in the release tracker. Awesome. That's great feedback. Yeah, I agree with you, Cyan, that this release was pretty uneventful, which is amazing given the previous release was pretty eventful. And even though Jenkins briefly disappeared, I think that was just a minor hiccup and we recovered really, really quick. So that was amazing work, folks.
All right. I think that's it for now. It's that's it for our agenda. Okay, I think we can wrap up if nobody has anything else to bring forth. Cool. So the next office hours will be. Oh, I heard somebody. Okay, but nothing to add. Cool. So the next office hours will be June 10th, and the next developer sync is at the end of this month, which will be May 27th, and both are happening on a Wednesday and at 2:30 UTC. And if you have any questions or want to get involved, you could reach out on our Discord channel, GitHub, on Matrix, or the Kubernetes or CNCF Slacks. So plenty of options. Thanks for joining, everybody, and I hope you have a great day.